One of the reasons we feel tired all the time is because the world is too complex and we want too many things. So this relates to how motivation works in the brain. And a lot of people don't realize this, but the brain will essentially facilitate tiredness as a way to get us to stop doing things. And that's because of the way that we perceive reward and effort. And so if we perceive that there's going to be a lot of effort that needs to be put in to achieve the thing that we want to achieve, or achieve the multiple things we want to achieve, and that the reward is really ambiguous and we don't know when it's going to come, the brain will essentially make us feel tired on purpose, because one of the reasons that the brain exists is to save energy. And so if you're someone that just kind of feels tired for no reason, and obviously you should get this checked out for like actual physical medical reasons, this could be a factor. It could be that the motivation system in the brain is perceiving a highly ambiguous set of goals in a highly ambiguous world, and it's also perceiving a lot of effort to achieve these goals. So you might be thinking, well, what do I do? Like, I can't just take a spaceship to a different world. Well, the thing about motivation is that these days, a lot of us have too many goals. So the way that you can think about motivation is you can think about it as a bucket. And so if you have a really, really big bucket, which a lot of us do these days, that means that we have so many things we want to do, so many things we want to accomplish, right? You want to get a promotion, but you want to also declutter your house, but you also want to spend a bunch of time with your kids. There's like so many goals. So your bucket's really big. That means that your perceived progress is very small. So perceived progress you can think of as like the water in the bucket. So if you have a really, really big bucket, it's not going to look like you have a lot of water. Even if you do make a lot of progress, it's always going to look like a tiny bit of water. But if you have a smaller bucket, then it's always going to look like you have quite a bit of water, because then your bucket's small and you don't need that much water to make it look full. And so hopefully that metaphor makes sense. Basically what I'm saying is that if you feel really kind of tired all the time, you feel like you don't want to do anything, you don't want to make progress towards your goals, like you kind of procrastinate, what you want to do is you want to focus on maybe just like 1 to 3 goals at a time. And then also focus on making sure that you see the progress, because this is something that we can control in our minds. We naturally look for the lack of progress, but we can look for the progress. And so make your goals smaller, make fewer goals, and be very, very deliberate in perceiving your progress. And this will allow you to feel more motivated. It's probably not the kind of instinctual way that we function around goals, but this is one of the reasons that we're starting to feel just so overwhelmed and so tired all the time, is because we're not really made for this level of ambiguity, and we're not really made for such long-term complex goal setting. If you think about it, the human brain is still evolved for more like agrarian times where, our goal might have been just like surviving the winter. And so with the world as it's continuously changing, and it's changing at a higher rate, it's going to be more and more difficult for us to feel good and to feel accomplished and to feel motivated, because the mind just wasn't really made for this. And so if this is you, know that nothing really has gone wrong. It's just that you need to learn how to work with your mind instead of against it.